Good morning. This is Rick Saltarelli with Salty Breeze Cruise Planners with this week's segment of Beyond Your Front Door. And today we have a very special guest all the way from South Africa. Please welcome Lizna Boshoff with Cape Rebel Tours. Welcome. How are you today?
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm really great. Summer is getting back, so yeah, pretty good.
That is correct. So as we head into fall, you are heading into spring.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. So you are a tour operator. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your company and how you got started and what it is that you do?
Well, we started actually in 2018. That was, well, actually back in the day when I was a student, I did international tours with the international student organization of Stellenbosch. So I think that's where I actually got interested and hooked on traveling. And I thought, oh, this is really fun to actually show people our country. And so actually, me and my husband, we were expecting, and we decided we wanted to do something to spend a bit more time with our family. And also something to actually live out our passion. So that is how we started Cape Rebel Tours. Also, my mother was very passionate about traveling. And after she passed away, I decided I'm going to start start the company in her name, in her memory. And so when I was pregnant, I actually started to study for a tour guide. So yeah, so that's basically how we started Cape Rebel Tours. It's me and my husband, and we just love showing people South Africa.
And one of the things that's very unique about your company is that both of you are experienced tour guides. So you continue to be tour guides as well as business owners, and you have a young family. So how do you balance your time between all of those responsibilities?
Well, it's been challenging for most of the part, but with COVID, I think we kind of managed to get a good balance in life with that. So basically, if there's a tour, one of us do the tour, and the other one stays with our 2-year-old, who will almost be 3 in the November. So that is actually just the easy way. If it is day tours, then sometimes we actually do both of them, and then we just leave him a little bit later at the daycare. We have a very fantastic lady that looks after him. Yeah, so that's actually how we do it. We get FOMO when we're not both with our people. So we really do try to be both, but otherwise one person stays and one person travels.
Sure. And you're very unique because I call you destination expert. So you grew up in the area, your family has deep roots in the area. You are really focused on the area, and you are actually the boots on the ground in the area. So when I call you destination expert, I think you probably agree with me, don't you?
No, absolutely. Well, we've lived here all our lives, South Africa. Our respective families goes back to the 1600s, coming into South Africa as, well, yeah, back in the day with the French Huguenots. I know that you guys in the US also have some Huguenots there. And yeah, so basically and when I was a forester, I also traveled quite a bit. And everywhere I lived at a forest, I discovered that area as a tourist. And then when I got married, my husband did the same. So we just traveled. And then when we started in tourism, we learned even more about South Africa. That's why we really try to get people to rediscover South Africa like we did. Because there's so much more to know than you think you know.
Sure. And so the benefit for those that are listening in and wondering why this is important is there's all those little intricate stories. There's those buildings that you drive by. There's those landmarks that you see that we are talking to somebody that knows the cultural and the historical significance of all of those items. So do you have any areas that you completely specialize in?
Yes. We specialize in basically from Namaqualand, which is next to Namibia, our neighboring country, up to the Eastern Cape, Adu Elephant Park. Absolutely a beautiful park. So everything in between, mainly Cape Town. And then also celiac travel, which is that's our main specialty. Obviously, we love all people that want to travel and come to South Africa. But because I have celiac disease myself, I was diagnosed in 2014. I do understand all the holes in the ground, if I can put it that way, and it's so difficult. It's socially exhausting, and people don't want to travel. They're very afraid. And so I just really want to make people feel comfortable and that they can just feel safe to travel. So it is really a passion to do that. So that is our big speciality. And we also belong to Cape Town Tour Guide Association. So we do get all the new info that comes in. We are updated with that, and we do our educational. So yeah, even though it might be an old building, but sometimes an old building becomes new again when you rediscover it.
Sure.
So,
And so you are accredited by the tourism board, and you keep up with your education. So that's always important in our industry. So do you have any essential tour items that you would suggest for a family to do, maybe with, maybe pre-teenage children? What would they do in the area?
oh, there is so much to do. Actually, I'm just going to move a little bit to this side. Sorry. There's a nice photo there. It is, sorry. If you can see that little boy with the bow and arrow. We have an amazing place called Kwatu that I would love to take people to. It is our First Nation, the Sun, and they're actually the oldest people, the oldest tribe in the world. This has been proven genetically, at this time. So, and that is so amazing that they help you, they teach you how to read tracks, like what kind of animal walked here and how they used to hunt back in the day and make fire and all of those things. So it's really a fun activity, and you go to their village. I love that part. And then other things, so many things. It depends on the family, but little kids, they like to keep busy. So we have things like boat rides. You get the normal safari with the animals, and then you get the marine big five, which is fantastic. You go on a boat, go see whales, dolphins, sharks, seals, and penguins. And then one of the big things is the Boulders penguin colony. That's one of the favorites when people get here and they ask, what was your favorite things? And people love the penguins. Other thing is wine touring. Now, know what you're thinking, legal age in the US, 21. But we do have non-alcoholic options for those people that's younger, or obviously the kids. Fun things like grape juice and cupcake tastings, things like that. So mommy and daddy can be enjoying their wine and some other goodies for the kids. And then except for that, all your other things like Table Mountain, Cape Point, yes. So there is a multitude of things, and ostrich farm, things like that. It's natural diversity we're big in, and also a lot of adventure activities.
Sure. So a lot of activities for families that they're not going to be able to enjoy in many other places, and certainly not at home. You're not going to be able to see the big five wildlife, and you're not going to be able to see penguins. So you have to go to where they are. And how about a suggestion for a vacation, for a romantic vacation, perhaps maybe for a couple that is on their honeymoon?
Oh, we have beautiful places. South Africa has so many little secluded spots that you can just really be alone at. One of my favorite places, this is absolutely fantastic for your honeymoon. You're right on the beach there. It's idyllic. And then who wouldn't actually want to go and stay on a wine farm with your own swimming pool? So that is actually, it's and 5-star lodges. It's really beautiful. And then also all the activities that you can do as a couple, get the adrenaline pumping with a shark maybe. But yeah, so we have so many things, and we even have places that's really, really secluded that you can really feel that it's just the two of you, and it's very special.
Awesome. And I noticed that one of the other things that you do is self-drive tours. So who would that type of tour appeal to?
Is that is actually it's an old thing with South Africans. South Africans love to go on their self-drive tours, so we just thought to actually start and do that with overseas visitors as well. So the perfect person would be, I would say, the person that comes here for the second time. That's more. They feel more at ease to be in a different country and to move around on their own. And otherwise, if you're an adventurous person that's a bit more on a budget and you feel it's okay to drive on the other side of the road, on the left side of the road, then it is fine. And obviously, if you can understand your GPS, because you will get lost, then that is perfect. Because you absolutely, you plan your own time. We book everything from your accommodation, your vehicle, some of your activities, and restaurant bookings, places that we will say you can't miss this one. So you will still get that. And then also you will have your own little free time that you can, especially if you can think like the honeymooners, they might not want to be on a schedule. They want to today they just want to be on the beach, and tomorrow they might want to see the world and do everything. So yes, self-drive is quite good for the flexible person. You're on mute.
I'm sorry. Because you do a lot of what I would just call day tours, you would be ideal for people that are either visiting and they're there one day on a cruise, or they want to spend a couple of days in Cape Town before they go on perhaps to Johannesburg to do a safari, for example. Is that correct? Would that be a good client for you to talk to?
Absolutely, yes. No, absolutely. We have done cruise guests. Actually, they're quite. It's very limited time. Like if you have just one day in Cape Town, but we will make that amazing for you. We have had people. They usually will then ask you also, what do you want to see? Is there something specific you want to see? Something specific that you want to do? Because obviously you're not just going to come here and just sit in your hotel for the whole day. Well, you can, but that's just ridiculous. So we have done like in one day, taking people to Table Mountain, the Heart Museum, the synagogue, the Jewish Museum, the Holocaust Museum, Ethiopian restaurants, Jewish restaurants. Yeah, so we can pack a lot of things into one day, depending on what you want to do. So that would I would say absolutely. Don't let the chance by. If you just have one day, don't think it's too little time. It's not too little
Sure.
time.
Well, that's awesome. And so this is my final question of the day. What would you say to somebody that's always thought about South Africa? It's on their bucket list, but they haven't made that trip yet, haven't made the call.
Say the only reason you haven't been here is because of COVID. I hope that's the only reason. But it's absolutely the most amazing country. I would say try to come as soon as possible. At the moment, we have some good prices because of COVID, so there are some specials in the air. But if it is on your bucket list, there's you will find that there's actually more that you will have to put on your bucket list once you are here. As it's not just a lot of people think I'm coming to South Africa, I'm going to see Table Mountain, I'm going to on a safari. Yes, that's two fantastic items, and you have to do that. But there's other things like the cradle of humankind, which is early human up in the northern Gauteng. Then here in the Western Cape, we have the cradle of human culture, which is actually early man. And they found it's the journey of basically of all of us for the last 160,000 years. Sorry. So, and they have proof, well, that's the oldest proof that they have found. But so basically, what we are trying to also show people is that it's not just our story, it's actually the world's story. And we would actually really just want to welcome you home. But for the bucket list items, oh, okay, Table Mountain, definitely. Penguins, definitely. Safari, definitely. Big Five Marine Safari, definitely. That is quite amazing. And then we have something called Rovers Rail, which is a luxury old colonial style train. Absolutely fine dining. You dress up for dinner, you have high tea, everything is included. Beautiful. Then also, yeah, Kruger National Park, but also Addo Elephant Park. which is one of the few parks in the world. Well, I think it might be the only one that have the big five, the land-based one and the marine one, because you can also see from the park whales, dolphins, everything. It's quite a long park. And then Tsitsikamma, it's beautiful, old forests, lots of adventure activities, and a lot of natural beauty. So yes, but if you come here, you will find out here there's lots more to see.
Absolutely. So that's a great way to sum it up. My name is Rick Saltarelli. I'm with Salty Breeze Crusie Planners, the place where we help create lifelong lasting memories. And we have been talking to a true destination expert, a specialist. We've been talking to Lizna Boshoff, and she has generations of family in South Africa. She is a tour guide. She is the owner of her own company, Cape Rebel Tours. And this is why we work with companies like her, because we want to work with the very best destination experts they are, so that we can make your vacation, your bucket list vacation, the memory maker that it needs to be. And it all starts with a call to us at 888-332-8202. Thank you, Lizna, for being with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. It was great having me. Well, it was great of you having me. Thank you.
Thank you.